That's right! Welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for Ringside. Got a bunch of news lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, we're just gonna whack. For what it's worth, Fightful Select claims they never heard from anyone that WWE was handing out, quote, "We want Cody" signs at Raw. But there were many fans who made their own and brought them to the show of their own volition. This leads me to believe that it's not as artificial as I initially thought. This means that they genuinely are sliding Cody Rhodes out of the main event scene and putting The Rock in, which I don't know how many times I've already said this, doesn't make any sense. So now this kind of changes things a little bit because, again, it's not artificial. So I'm genuinely curious now. Like before, I was more confused than I was curious. Now I'm like intrigued. You know, I wonder how this is going to go going forward. I wonder how WWE is going to try and spin this. You know what I mean? Like, because it's very obvious that the crowd is not behind this. So it's giving Daniel Bryan being put into the main event at WrestleMania 30. So I feel like now, because it doesn't seem so artificial anymore, now it genuinely does seem like the exact same thing is happening in real time. So I am very curious to see how this is going to pan out going forward. Sticking with Fightful also says Cody Rhodes told WWE he thought they wouldn't get the reaction they were hoping for in the segment with The Rock. He was also apparently in a, quote, somber mood after. So Cody is obviously not very happy about this, right? Which lends credence to the fact that this doesn't sound like this is the direction that the artificial thing that I was just talking about. It doesn't sound like, again, that's what they're going with, which obviously it's very interesting. It is very interesting because it's weird that all of a sudden WWE just completely shifts gears in a completely different direction at the behest of the fans, right? And the fans are obviously not happy about this. And Cody is obviously not happy about this. But they are chugging along either way. And I'm going to stand again. I'm going to stay by my theory that that's the point, right? That's the point in the sense that they want to do this on purpose. So that way, when they do announce that it is going to be a triple threat match, the crowd loses their minds, right? Because that was the entire plan going forward. But apparently, it was always going to be Rock versus Roman. Always. There was that was never the case. When I talked on the podcast where I was like, I mentioned like, was CM Punk the reason why we were getting Rock versus Roman? And apparently the answer is no. It was always going to be Rock Roman. And Cody was apparently never going to be a part of that. And the fans are voicing their displeasure about that. And it is very interesting to see how WWE is going to handle that in the future, right? And Cody being in a somber mood obviously tells you that he is also not happy with this, you know? So, again, I don't know what WWE is going to do about this. Hopefully, in the next couple weeks, even if it is still going to be Rock vs. Roman, we at least get some type of kayfabe, whatever. We get some type of explanation, a valid explanation, by the way, as to why. Sticking with WWE, Russell Vogt says they were told that while WWE leaned into the viral reaction to The Rock's return, quote, certain people were totally thrown off by the Rocky Sucks chants on Raw this week. So here's the deal. They leaned into it. Now they titled it on the video, which obviously means that they knew exactly what was going on, right? So that made me think, okay, they know what they're doing. This is supposed to happen. It's going to be a triple threat match. But Rocky Roman was always the plan. And Cody was in a somber mood, and people were thrown off by it. So, it's really like, it's not so much ping pong, the needle is more so moving over to the end of, okay, this is supposed to happen. Not the Rocky Sucks chance. Rock being in the main event. And it's obvious that the fans are not happy about this. And it is clearly rocking the boat, right, in WWE. And it's kind of weird that they didn't expect everybody to have the reaction that everybody is currently having right now, which tells you that they had this idea in their head way back when, and they were just under the assumption that everybody would hear about it and be perfectly fine with it. And this is the thing of, you know, when The Rock, when stuff like that happens, when The Rock shows up and, John Cena shows up and everything like that, initially, it's great. Makes a pop, all that sort of stuff. But when the dust settles, right, and you realize what it is that you've just started cheering for, and you kind of get the sleepies out of your eyes, you realize what's happening in front of you. And everyone is doing that now, and they're going, well, hold on a second, wait a minute. This isn't what I asked for, It's like you're at a restaurant and you go, I want a sandwich, and they give you like a flambe, and they make a big fire in front of you, and it's like, wow. But wait a minute, hold on a second. I didn't ask for this, So I don't want to keep saying the same exact thing over and over again. But the main idea here that I'm trying to, instill is that this needs to be fixed. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the same idea that everybody else is having is, okay, if this is what you're going to be telling me going forward, then you need to, convince me that this is what I want, because it's not. So I need you to tell me in 10 words or less why I should be, interested in this match. So I guess in the next couple of weeks, we're going to figure out what that is. Next, PW Insider notes that Brian Gerwitz will be at, quote, major WWE events going forward, including Elimination Chamber, as part of the creative process leading to WrestleMania. They're bringing in their own Rock guy. They're bringing in their own guy. So you've got the creative team already, and you've got Brian Gerwitz. So at the very least, they're going to make sure that the story is being told properly. It's like Paul Heyman helping WWE write the story for Roman Reigns. So that's good, right? So that tells me that at the very least, they're going to make sure that the story is not going to be Cheeks McDougal as the weeks go on. So that's good. At least we have that. Like, we don't have Cody, but if we didn't have Cody and the story leading up to WrestleMania was ass, then it would just be a twofer, and nobody would be happy. Everybody would just be just royally upset, right? So Brian Gerwitz leads me to believe that the story going forward is going to be very interesting, right? Just wrapping it all up in one word, interesting. Because if you got Miz coming in, that obviously tells me that you've got some stuff planned. Because what do you need him for? Why can't you guys just do it yourselves? You know what I mean? So, with all that being said, that obviously means that something is going to happen. I say that as if like something crazy is going to happen. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen, but if you're bringing in Brian Gerwitz, then that obviously means that you've got something planned here, right? So, I don't know. Does that mean that a triple threat match is going to happen? Probably not, but, it probably means that the storyline itself, Roman, the storyline itself is going to be interesting in its own way. So, I'm curious to how that's going to turn out. Moving right along, if there was any doubt about her status, Tiffany Stratton is full-time on Smackdown going forward and has finished up in NXT per Insider. Tiffany Stratton is one of the greatest women's modern-day wrestlers. Okay? Shoot me. I fully agree. I fully stand by that. She's one of the greatest. She's got the look, she's got the in-ring ability, she's got the promo skills. I think that she had the moveset. Her moveset is really innovative and creative. I love her. I think she's great. I think that you could put her in a bunch of different factions. You could have her be in a tag team. She's perfectly fine going solo. I feel like she's got the ingredients to be a very likable babyface and a very detestable heel. I think that she's got it all. I say all that because now that she's on SmackDown, the opportunities are endless. Yes, they were endless in NXT, right? But now that she's on SmackDown, she can be in more Royal Rumbles. Well, to be fair, she was already... The point I'm trying to make is that she has way more opportunities now than she did before. She can be in Money in the Bank ladder matches. She can be in Elimination Chamber matches. She can be in, championship matches. There's so many different things that she can now do and she can now be a part of that she really couldn't be a part of all that much while she was in NXT. She could do her own things, her own specific NXT, type storylines in NXT, but now that she's in Smackdown, there's so many different people that she can like dust it up with and interact with and stuff like that, and so many different championships that she can go after now because she's now on the main roster, and it's very exciting because she's got people like Chelsea Green, and Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, just so many different people that she can, fool around with that could lead up to so many different fantastic matches and storylines, and, her character could start developing so much more in so many different avenues that, again, she has so many opportunities. And I'm really looking forward to this, just because of how wonderful she is as a performer, as a competitor, as an athlete, right? And I'm very excited to see what WWE has in store for her going forward in terms of the storylines and the championships and the Money in the Bank and the Elimination Chamber. Like, I am very excited to see how 2024 is going to shape up for Tiffany Stratton in the next couple months. Finally, PW Insider says that while Camille was offered a deal with NXT, it no longer looks like she'll be going there, and she is engaged in, quote, deep discussions with AEW. So at the moment, if I remember correctly, AEW is trying to get, so far it sounds like they have Kazuchika Okada, Mercedes Moné, they just got Deonna Purrazzo back. Oh my god, there was someone else that they got sent off to Stardom, and then they came back. Unless that wasn't Deonna. It was someone else. I can't remember their name. It was another women's wrestler, and now it sounds like they're trying to get Camille. So listen, AEW is definitely gathering up a lot of different people, and that's good, right? That's what you want to hear. That AEW, has a lot more cards in the deck to shuffle around. Bodes well for them going forward, if I could be honest, I'm a little bit worried about their financial standings, but I keep saying that and I haven't heard anything. So if it seems like everything's going well, then I assume everything's going well and I don't have anything to worry about, right? Camille's a great wrestler, right? Great in-ring ability. I'm looking forward to what they have in store for her. I'm hoping that, they've got stuff planned for her and she's not just going to float around Rampage or, be in a match here or there and you don't really hear too much from her. She was NWA Women's Champion for 800 days, right? So that obviously means that she's got the stuff to be a champion in AEW, so hopefully that means that she's going to be a future TBS champion at some point down the line. Again, looking forward to it, and can't wait to see what they have in store for her. What do we talk about? Alright, so, they never heard, Fightful claims they never heard anyone that WWE was handing out Cody signs. Fightful also says Cody told WWE he thought they wouldn't get the reaction they were hoping for. WrestleVote says they were told that while WWE leaned into the viral reaction, some people were totally thrown off by Rocky Sucks chants. And Brian Gerwitz will be at major WWE events going forward. There's obviously a lot going on here, right? And on one hand, I thought that all of this was meant to happen, and now it seems as though none of this... the reaction leads me to believe that they assumed that everybody was going to be perfectly fine with Rock versus Roman, and not Roman versus Cody. So, again, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on how they formulate this story going forward. Tiffany Stratton is full-time on Smackdown. Let's go, boys. It is officially Tiffy time. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to what they've got in store for her. And they also say that while Camille was offered a deal with NXT, she's engaged in deep discussions with AEW. AEW's, again, gathering up a lot of people. That's good to hear. That's what you want. Looking forward to what AEW's got in store for every single one of them. Mainly Camille, just because, that's who we're talking about right now, right? And, again, yeah, hopefully they don't just have her be in one or two matches and then we don't hear anything from her. Hopefully she'll be a TBS champion in the near future. We'll have to wait and see. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. And as always, big hugs. Big hugs all around.